Gloria, it's great to see you again.
Great to see you, Pete.
Yeah, it's been a while since I was fortunate enough to be a guest with you on your podcast. And, it's fantastic to have you back here today. And we're going to talk some business and diversification and opportunity and all sorts of great words when you're an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And
So I'm thrilled to be here talking about this stuff with you and your audience. Yeah.
Yeah,
Super
very
important.
cool. As we were jumping on here, had a few technical difficulties, but isn't that part of entrepreneurship where we're just dealing? Sometimes we just have to put out the fires, right, Gloria?
Absolutely. Man, it happens all the time, right? I always say, look, entrepreneurship is not for the faint of heart. It's going to be one heck of a roller coaster ride, you know?
It is. And you know what? Whether it's just a technical difficulty of hopping on a call like we had today and but we worked through it. We got through what we needed to do. We tested our stuff. We worked through the things and here we are chatting, and that's just the life of an entrepreneur, and it's so interesting how you can frame it in so many different ways. But I'm excited today to talk about opportunity. And as entrepreneurs, we're always looking for passive income ideas. We're looking for different, spins of how we can change our business to maybe inject another line of capital or whatever the case is. And what is it that you look for when you look for an opportunity?
Well, as you know, Pete, I'm an online marketer. I don't
Yeah.
have brick and mortar business. And for those people who do have brick and mortar businesses, I would recommend finding something that's online where you don't have to become a guru online marketer or anything like that. But just so that you've got, well, look, we just went through this last 2 crazy years, right? And for a
Yeah.
lot of people in a lot of places, if they had a brick and mortar business, it was pretty dicey, right? Because they were shut
Hmm.
down.
Yeah.
Look at what's happened to the restaurant industry. So diversifying and having something that's online. Now, if you're watching this, listening to this, and thinking, oh, but I'm not an online marketer, there are things that I look for. So you can have passive income where you can start with as little as maybe $300. Some of them are as little as $100,
Yeah.
and you get your money working for you, and it is totally online. And so I look for things where 100% of people make money without selling anything and without recruiting people. So you don't have to like be a network marketer and build a team or anything like that. So there are lots of these opportunities out there now, and I think even more so over the last 5 years, and they're growing because of what's happened in the last 2.5 years
Hmm.
with the pandemic and everything, where more and more people were looking for what can I do from home? How can I make an extra 200, 500, 2,000, $10,000 a month from home? So you can get your money working for you, which is really 1,000% passive. You put $100, $300 into something, and your money is being invested. You reinvest your money every week, sometimes every day, and you're really taking advantage of compound interest as well. And to me, this is an amazing thing for people who do have businesses that keep them busy full time. Or maybe you've got a part-time business and you've got a crazy busy life because you've got kids at home. Maybe you're taking care of, older parents, whatever it is. I think every person should have passive income that they're adding on to their other streams of income. So I look for things where 100% of people make money without selling anything or without recruiting anyone. That's one thing that I'm passionate about. And the beauty is there are lots of those things out there.
Give us an example of one of those, Gloria.
So there are different things right now. You have to have a high tolerance for risk in this, but there are lots of
Hmm.
things in the crypto world. So, people have to look at that and say, okay, what's my tolerance for risk? And then, Pete, what I say to everybody is, look, never put more money into any of these things than you can afford to lose,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
And same with the stock market, frankly,
Yeah.
and that's what this is. This is investing in various different things. So there are lots of things in the crypto world. There are lots of things in the Forex market, the foreign exchange market. These are infinitely more stable than the crypto world. I have nothing against crypto world,
Yeah.
but I just always say to everybody, you have to know what your risk tolerance is. But the foreign exchange market is the largest market in the world by far. It is infinitely bigger than the New York Stock Exchange, the Canadian Stock Exchange, any stock exchange. And this is where banks invest their money. Banks, large corporations are investing their money in the foreign exchange market. So it's where the US dollar is traded against the Japanese yen, or the Japanese yen is traded against the British pound. And the beauty of these things is, the things that I get involved in anyway, are things where professional traders are trading for me. So I don't have to trade anything. Now, if you want to learn how to trade, there are things like that, but I don't have the time or the inclination. I just want my money working for me intelligently, totally passively, where I don't have to do anything. So there are lots of those opportunities out there as well. Two other things, very specific opportunities. The world of what's called ethically sourced data is big these days. And you can actually make money. Now, you're not going to make bucket loads of money if you don't get in there and bring other people in, share it with other people, but you don't have to do that, and you can make money from your data, because ethically sourced data is where you, the consumer, understands your data is valuable. You, the consumer, give consent that your data is used, and then you get paid for your data. So whether we like it or not, we all know our data is being used. You know, if you're on Facebook, if you're on YouTube, anywhere, if you go to Google, your data is being used.
It is.
So we're kind of living under a rock if we're thinking, oh, I don't want anybody using my data. Well, it's being used. You're just not being paid for it.
Yeah.
So now there are things where you can just use your cell phone, walk around with your cell phone on, and get paid. You can also just get paid for browsing the internet exactly the way you're using the internet today. Without doing anything differently, you can get paid. And hey, why not? Because people are using your data anyway, right?
For sure.
So again, you're not going to make a ton of money, but with what's going on in the world, if you make an extra $500 a year, now you can make a whole lot more if you do some other things, but this is something where I'm talking about totally passive. If you make an extra $500,000 a year,
adds up.
it's worth it, right? It does. That's the thing. It all adds up. And these are things where you set them up once and you don't have to do anything else. You're good to go.
When you say set them up once, when you're starting off, how can you possibly do this stuff? Where do you go? How do you start? What's the route?
Well, that's a good question. I mean, I'm in the industry, so I'm constantly looking for these kinds of opportunities. I have a YouTube channel where I talk about the various opportunities that I've found that are good, that I recommend. I mean, you can go to Google, you can go to YouTube and type in best passive income opportunities for 2022, for example. And you'll get a whole lot of different stuff there. And then it takes vetting, to know what really is good and what might not be so good. But the beauty is, it's the upside and the downside. There's so many of these opportunities out there, which is wonderful. And then the downside is it takes more time to vet them. But
and how do you vet them, Gloria? When you're looking at an opportunity like this and you're saying, maybe I should consider this. What's your process?
Yep.
What sort of how do you lay that out and say either yay, which is fine, or nay, which is also fine?
Right. So with the things that are free to join, I join. Yeah. So for example, an app on your phone that you can download, and then you get paid just for walking around with your cell phone on, because your geographic location data is incredibly valuable. I mean, what's the word? And again, this is ethically sourced data, so you're giving your consent. And again, that data is being used whether you believe it or not. So I don't know, there's no skin off my nose. It's free to join, right? It costs absolutely nothing. And then if you don't like the app, you just delete it from your phone, right? So those are no-brainer kind of things to me. So there are a couple of no-brainer things. The things where you have to invest, $100, $300. I think you have to know, again, your risk tolerance. Do you like the idea of cryptocurrency? Do you like the idea of the Forex market? Personally, I believe in diversification. So I don't think you should have all your money in Forex. I don't think you should have all your money in crypto. I don't think you should have all your money in the stock exchange, mutual funds, anything. I think we really need to diversify. So I have chosen two different things, one in crypto, one in the Forex. And again, I started off with $300 because I thought,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah, you
I
can
can
afford to
afford to
lose it,
lose
right?
$300.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think to a large extent, it's if you know somebody that's already in it, you can talk to them. I mean, you can do research on the internet. However, the challenge with doing research on the internet is you're going to find that everything is a scam.
Yeah.
No matter what it is, you're gonna find stuff that says it's a scam, and you're also going to find stuff that says it's great. So you can have something that truly is great, and you'll see all kinds of stuff about it being a scam. You can find things that truly are scams, and you'll find all kinds of stuff about it being great. So the very best thing is if you can actually find someone who's involved in it and speak to them about their experience. Not always so easy to do, which is why I say, hey, start with $100, $300, whatever, and test it out. That's what I did when I first got involved in these things. I thought, okay, I'm going to test this out because it sounded too good to be true for me. So I thought, I can truly just like put $300 in something in the Forex market and I can start making money every single week. But it turned out it was true.
That's awesome.
Right?
That's awesome. And, Gloria, I know this is what you do. You help other people through these trials and tribulations and helping them create passive income streams for themselves, right?
Absolutely. Yes.
Why don't you
Yeah.
tell anybody who would like to work with you to save all the aggravation that we've been chatting about and sort of bypass that and would like to get in touch with you, how to get in touch with you and tell them a little bit about your program?
Yeah, so what I recommend is check out my YouTube channel, totally free. It's gloriamacdonald.com/passive. And you can get a sense of the different kinds of things, more in depth on what we've been talking about. And then if any of those things appeal to you, depending like the things that are free, there's a link there. You can just sign up for free. And, the things that take a little more to invest, you'll be able to connect with me there. So I really recommend my YouTube channel so you can check out some more. And again, it's gloriamacdonald.com/passive.
Awesome. We'll include that in the show notes too, Gloria.
Thanks.
Well, thanks for spending some time talking a little bit about passive income and all these things about diversification. It's always on the top of our minds as entrepreneurs. We're always thinking, everybody's, maybe not all the time, but you're always thinking, how else can I make a couple extra bucks? And I think that's just the entrepreneurial spirit, right?
Absolutely.
It's been wonderful talking to you. I really appreciate your time today.
Thanks so much, Pete. Pleasure to be here.
Right on. Bye for now.
Bye.